Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It's Sunshine Lorena and I am going to be doing Try Chapter Thriller Edition. So guys, I have did this video like maybe once, like a very long time ago. So it's, yeah, something I don't normally do. However, this year I've been really bad at reading my physical TBR. I've picked out 5 thrillers on my shelves that I have not read to try a chapter, see how much I like it. I'll give it a rating as well based on the first chapter, I'll let you guys know. But yes, to kind of reignite and remind myself of these thrillers, because yeah, when it comes to my TBR, I'm just not picking them up. And some of these have been here for a very long time. So I'll have some by authors you recognize, other ones you don't. These 3 here were from a box of stories box that I got in a competition like ages ago, and I just haven't got around to them. They sit on the very bottom of my shelves, which isn't helping, guys. So yes, these are the ones I'll be reading. Let's just kind of get into it. So first up, The Women in Cabin 10. Brief synopsis of this one. This was meant to be a perfect trip. The Northern Lights, a luxury press launch on a boutique cruise ship. Sounds perfect, guys. A chance for travel journalist Lo Blacklock to recover from a traumatic break-in that has left her on the verge of collapse. Except things don't go to plan. I'm not going to read the rest of the synopsis because I find they always get very spoilery for thrillers. But yes, let's just dive in. I'm just having a little look here. Okay, so we have like a little kind of prequel, and then we get into like actual chapter 1. So I'll read that and chapter 1, which, how many pages am I signing myself up for, guys? Okay, it's only a few pages, so there's not that much, but yeah, I'm gonna read, come back, let you know my thoughts, and give you like a little rating out of 5 of how far it's good so far, okay? Okay guys, that was interesting. I'm giving that first chapter a 5 out of 5. It doesn't mean that this will be a 5-star read, but in terms of hooking me in to the story and being extremely intrigued, it did it. Our character wakes up after being midweek, after being out drinking, and doesn't have much recollection of what's happened the night before, and ends up discovering an intruder in her house or flat. I can't remember which it is, but very interesting. The details, it is making me wonder, like, what's going on, what happened, where is this going to go? Also, I would like to say it was a great first line on the chapter, not the little like story bit before, but the first inkling that something was wrong was waking in the darkness to find the cat pawing at my face. I think this is great, guys. I'm really intrigued. I'm gonna have to move this up on TBR. I will need to go through the rest of these, but this has a strong potential of being the first one that I'm gonna pick up out of these. Then I have Blood Orange by Harriet Trice. I've seen this around like a lot, but I don't know too much about it. Like, I've always seen the cover, I actually don't know too much about it. We'll do a quick synopsis and then I'll get into the chapter and I'll let you guys know. So Alison has it all, a loving family and a career on the rise. She's just been given her first murder case to defend, but all is never as it seems. That's literally all it says. So short, punchy, to the point. I like that. Let's have a little look and see what kind of chapter we're working with. So we have a prologue, okay, which again is just over a page. And then we have chapter 1. It's quite big writing. It's like 8 pages, so it's longer, but it's bigger writing. So maybe about the same sort of time. But yeah, I'm just gonna get into it, guys, and come back and let you know my thoughts. Okay, so this one, not quite as intriguing as The Woman in Cabin 10. I'm saying like 3 out of 5 at this stage. So we've met Alison, she is a barrister, and like we saw her just coming back from like court and then going out for like Friday night drinks. There is this guy Patrick, there's obviously something going on but people can't know, and it's all very odd. She gets very drunk. I am intrigued to see like kind of what happens, but I feel like she's giving possibly unreliable narrator and is getting with the drinking, etc. I don't know Patrick, I don't trust him, I don't like him. First impressions, you know, not good. So we'll need to see. I am intrigued, but like I said, like 3 out of 5. Like, I'm not immediately like, oh, I need to keep reading and find out, whereas The Woman in Cabin 10, very intrigued, want to keep reading. So yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay, now I've got The Travellers by Chris Pavon. Like I said, these are the ones that are like sat on the bottom of my shelves. They've been there for a while, so I don't see them, so I don't automatically go for them. These were from like a box of stories. This is quite thick as well, guys. But if I will look at the synopsis together, but if I remember correctly, I feel like this was more like not my usual type of thriller, and that's also kind of why I haven't like went for it. So meet Will Rhodes, a travel writer recently married, barely solvent, his idealism rapidly giving way to disillusionment and the worry that he's living the wrong life. Then one night in Argentina, a beautiful woman makes him an offer he can't refuse. Soon, Will's bad choices and dark secrets take him across Europe, from Bordeaux chateau to a midnight raid in Paris, from a Dublin dive bar to a mega yacht in the Mediterranean, and an isolated cabin perched on the cliffs of Iceland. As Will is drawn further into a tangled web of international intrigue, it becomes clear that the network of deception ensnaring him is part of an immense and deadly conspiracy with terrifying global implications, and that the people closest to him may pose the greatest threat of all. That's actually a very intriguing synopsis, but definitely not like my usual kind of thriller that I go through, but like international. We're going all over the world. So that seems really interesting. So let me just see here. So we've got a prologue like we did with the other ones, which is longer than the other one. So the prologue is 5 pages, and then we go into part 1, quite like that. I'm just checking, I don't know if I should just do the prologue or if I should also technically do chapter 1, which is, yeah, the chapter 1 is like 13 pages, so that would be like a lot of pages. I'm gonna read the prologue and see what kind of vibes I get, because I know it kind of normally it gives you a bit of an indication of like where it's going, but not without actually getting into the story. So I'll need to see how intrigued I get with that. Okay, I am intrigued. So I read the prologue and a couple of chapters of chapter 1. Couple of pages, guys. Chapter 1. I'm intrigued. That prologue hooked me right in. So the prologue is like, I suppose you read it and then chapter 1 goes 5 weeks earlier. So Will has got himself into clearly a situation, like this guy turning up at his hotel in the middle of the night, showing this video, obviously trying to take him somewhere, and you know, he escapes, or at least tries to escape, before being whacked in the face. Honestly, it was such a great like start to this book. Like I am so intrigued. Like Will in like the 5 weeks earlier is just like in New York. I've not read too much of that chapter 1, but clearly his life is normal. So it's like, what happened, Will? That you end up in a situation in Argentina, people coming after you, like what happened? Intrigued. I'm thinking, I'm also gonna give this 5 out of 5. Like this and The Woman in the Cabin 10 are very different vibes in terms of like books. This is given a little bit more like spy or like bad guy, like international, like it's called The Traveler, so like it's involving like some shady business, you know what I mean? So I'm intrigued, guys, super intrigued. We'll keep going, but this has potential of maybe being the next one. I'll rank them at the end, but potential. So the next one on my little pile here is A Tapping at My Door by David Jackson. So we'll have again a little look at the synopsis. What annoys me about these two is that like they're big paperbacks, and I feel like it's just annoying, which is why they sit at the very bottom, because like I can't make them work on my shelves that well. Yeah, so that's just a point. It's annoying. There's a killer on the loose and you won't see him coming. A woman at home in Liverpool is disturbed by a persistent tapping at her back door. She's unnerved to discover the culprit is a raven and tries to shoo it away, which is when the killer strikes. Interesting. DS Nathan Cody, still bearing the scars of an undercover mission that went horribly wrong, is put on the case. But as flashbacks from his past begin to intrude, Cody realizes he is battling not just a murderer, but his own inner demons too. And then the killer strikes again, and Cody realizes the threat isn't to the people of Liverpool after all, it's to the police. Intrigued. Call me intrigued with that. So again, let's see. So I haven't even looked at prologue chapter 1 business, but like it's a little quote from the Raven, which is appropriate with considering a raven is somehow involved. Just like thought I'd mention that. So okay, we go straight into chapter 1 with this one. There is no prologue, but how many pages are we talking here? Because this book is bigger. Yo, there is too many, guys, too many. Okay, there's 13 pages, which is a lot. More than I was expecting. So I'm just gonna get into this, come back to you with my thoughts and feelings. Okay guys, just finished with this and I'm thinking like 3 out of 5, the same level as Blood Orange. So in this first chapter, it pretty much is just kind of giving a good chunk of the synopsis. It's just the situation of that murder with the tapping. It's interesting writing, but it hasn't like completely pulled me in, like, because I think it hasn't given me any extra intrigue compared to the synopsis. But it is good, but yeah, it's not an immediate like I need to continue and find out what happens. So yeah, but but I'm sure it will be really interesting. We'll need to see when I do eventually pick it up. But now I also have, the final one is All the Beautiful Lies by Peter Swanson. Quick brief synopsis. This is a very interesting cover, I have to say. I like how like they've just put it in red and like it's a bit ominous, you know? So on the eve of his college graduation, Harry is called home by his stepmother Alice to their house on Maine Coast, following the unexpected death of his father. But who really is Alice? His father's much younger second wife. In a brilliant split narrative, Peter Swanson teases out the stories and damage that lie in her past, and as her story entwines with Harry's in the present, things grow increasingly dark and threatening. Will Harry be able to see any of it clearly through the fog of his own confused feelings? Interesting. Like, it's not giving much away in that synopsis. It is giving a mystery vibe. Something's going on, but not immediate. Oh, I quite like how we have that little like picture page there. So yes, it doesn't really give anything away, like no idea what it's actually about. Okay, so we have part one, Grey Lady. So I mean, it seems like these little pages go through, and looking at there, I don't know how well that's come up on the screen, but there's definitely another little grey opening, which I assume must be like part two. I was gonna say page two. So this goes straight into a chapter one. So it's 9 pages. So again, a little bit on the longer side. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into it, come back with my thoughts and feelings on this final one. Okay, just finished this. I'm giving like 2.5, so like this is my least favourite out of all of them. It was just, it's not really pulled me in that much again. So like his father's death is bringing him and his stepmother closer together. He's like moving back home. He was going to be doing that anyway briefly after graduation, so it's just a little circumstance a little bit different. But yeah, there is a mystery vibe to it because there is some, they don't know how it happened, like they still need to figure out, was it an accident, you know. But yeah, it's not like fully bringing me in. So this is my least favorite. Then we kind of have Blood Orange and A Tapping at My Door, like the same sort of level. And then we have The Travelers and Women in Cabin 10 as like the two like favorites. But honestly, I'm feeling The Travelers, and I think it's because I just don't normally read thrillers with that kind of vibe. Like I said, it's giving like international spy, like some sort of espionage. I don't know. There's something intriguing, international element. Maybe it involves drugs. I have no idea, but I'm so intrigued. So I think this is the number one pick, followed by this one. And then, you know, I will eventually work my way through these books, but yes, that was fun. I'd forgotten, like I said, what most of these were about, so it has kind of brought them to the forefront of my mind. So I will hopefully reach for them because I've been really bad at reading the physical books this year. But yes, let me know based on like the synopsis that I gave you which one you think is actually the best one. So leave that comment down below, hit like, hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss anything more from me, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.